It was a cold February night, the kind where wind cuts through your jacket and the streets stay quiet long after the last commuter's gone home. On a side road just outside the city, a car idled by the curb, headlights dimmed, music low. Inside sat Malik Turner, 32 years old, delivery driver, father of one. He was finishing his last run of the night, sipping coffee gone cold. His daughter's voice was still in his ear from the last call. "Daddy, don't forget my game tomorrow." He wouldn't. He never did. But in a few minutes, that promise would break. Because down that same road, a call had gone out. Armed robbery. Male suspect. Black. Early 30s. Seen near Ridgeway Street driving a gray sedan. Malik drove a gray sedan. When the patrol car pulled in behind him, red and blue lights flashing, Malik sighed. He reached for his wallet and license, the way he'd been taught to since his teens. Hands visible. Voice calm. No sudden moves. He'd been stopped before. A tail light once. A random check another time. It was never fun, but it always ended the same. Just doing our job. This time, he expected the same line. He was wrong. Two officers approached. Flashlights cut through the window. "Step out of the vehicle, sir." Malik frowned. "Is there a problem?" "Step out. Now." He obeyed. The night air stung. He could smell rain coming. One officer frisked him. The other peered inside the car, his hand near his holster. "Where you headed?" "Home. Just got off work." "Where's home?" "Elm Street, near the park." The officer's tone sharpened. "You been over by Ridgeway tonight?" Malik shook his head. "No, sir. I've been downtown, delivering packages." But the radio crackled again. Suspect seen leaving the store on foot, may have entered a vehicle matching the description. The words hung heavy. The officer turned. "We'll need you to come with us." They didn't cuff him at first. They just guided him to the back of the cruiser. He looked back at his car, the cup of coffee still steaming in the holder, the photo of his daughter taped to the dash. At the station, the tone shifted. Questions came fast, stacked on each other. "Where were you between 9 and 9:30? "Do you own a black jacket?" "Have you ever been to Ridgeway Market?" Malik kept answering, patient at first, then confused. He'd been scanning deliveries downtown. His route app could prove it. But the detective in the room didn't want proof. He wanted confession. "We have a witness who saw someone matching your description." Malik exhaled. "Matching? That's not me." The detective leaned closer. "You fit. Same build, same car, same hoodie color." He didn't say same skin. He didn't have to. They booked him before midnight. Fingerprint, mugshot, holding cell. He asked to call his daughter's mother, Tanya. They let him, for 60 seconds. "Tell her I'm okay," he said, voice shaking. They got it wrong. She cried on the other end. "Malik, what happened?" "I don't know. Just tell Jayla I'll be home soon." But he wouldn't be. Not soon. Not at all that night. Across town, a detective named Ruiz looked over the case file. He'd seen hundreds like it. Convenience store robbed at gunpoint, clerk shaken but alive. The security camera had caught only a blur. A hooded figure, tall, dark jacket, in and out in under a minute. No clear face, no clear plate. But dispatch had circulated what they had, and Malik's car matched a partial plate hit 3 blocks away. To Ruiz, that was thin. Too thin. Still, protocol moved faster than doubt. The next morning, Malik sat behind glass. A public defender met him, shuffling papers. "You're charged with armed robbery and possession of a firearm." Malik's eyes widened. "I don't even own a gun." "I know," the lawyer said softly, "but they claim they found residue on your jacket." He blinked. "That's my work jacket." "From deliveries. I don't..." But the lawyer had already heard every version of that sentence. She sighed. "We'll fight it. He looked at her, desperate. "You believe me?" She nodded. "Yes, but believing you and proving it are two different things." Days passed. News spread. A suspect arrested in connection to the Ridgeway robbery. Comment sections lit up. "Another thug off the street. Bet he's done this before. Look at him. Fits the profile." Profile. That word had followed Malik all his life. When he was 16, a teacher once told him, "You're smart, but people are going to see your hoodie before your homework." Now, 20 years later, it had come full circle. The clerk from the store came in to do a lineup. 5 men stood behind the glass. The clerk pointed. "Number 3, Malik." "Are you sure?" the detective asked. The clerk hesitated. "I think so." It was dark, but he looks close. Close was enough. They moved forward with charges. Tanya brought Jayla to visit. The little girl pressed her hand against the glass, tears in her eyes. "When are you coming home?" Malik smiled through it. "Soon, baby. Daddy's okay." But inside, his heart was breaking. Weeks turned to months. Trial date set. Bail denied. Malik's lawyer dug through delivery logs, timestamps, GPS routes. She found data showing his van logged a scan 2 miles from Ridgeway at the exact time of the robbery. But the prosecution claimed he could have had an accomplice. It was no longer about truth. It was about winning. On the morning of the hearing, something unexpected happened. Detective Ruiz got a call from another precinct. They'd arrested a man in a neighboring county for an unrelated burglary. In his car, they found a gun matching the serial number from the Ridgeway robbery. DNA came back 2 days later. The real suspect was a man named Darius Mays, a parolee, same height, same build, same hoodie color. The match was airtight. When Ruiz saw the report, he sat back in silence. He called the prosecutor. "We've got the wrong guy." By evening, Malik's cell door opened. "Turner," the guard said, "you're being released." He stood slowly, confused. Released? Case dropped. No apology, no handshake, just a door. Outside the county jail, the night air felt colder than the day he went in. Tanya stood waiting with Jayla. The little girl ran into his arms. "I knew you'd come home." He smiled, but his eyes carried something heavier. Months of lost time, a job gone, a name dragged through the news. Freedom didn't feel free anymore. The local paper buried the update on page 6. Charges dropped in robbery case. No headline, no follow-up. But online, the mugshot stayed. The old comments stayed. To the world, Malik Turner was still a suspect who got lucky. Weeks later, Ruiz asked to meet him. They sat across from each other at a diner off the highway. Ruiz spoke first. "I wanted to tell you personally. We made a mistake." Malik looked at his coffee. "You didn't make a mistake. You made a decision." Ruiz nodded, guilt in his face. "You're right. We should have looked closer." Malik's voice was low. "You saw a match. But not me." Silence lingered. Months passed. Malik tried to rebuild. He applied for jobs, but every background check flagged the arrest. "Pending charges," one recruiter said. "They were dropped," he replied. "Still shows up," the recruiter shrugged. He started driving again, this time for ride-share apps. Nights were long, quiet. Every time a patrol car passed, his chest tightened. Not from guilt, from memory. A local reporter reached out one day. She wanted to write about wrongful arrests. Malik agreed to talk. Her article opened with one line that echoed across the city. He was innocent. But innocence wasn't enough. It sparked debate. News panels discussed systemic bias. Activists cited his story in protests. Politicians promised reform. But Malik stayed quiet. He didn't want fame. He wanted peace. One night, driving home from a shift, he he saw flashing lights behind him again. For a moment, his hands froze on the wheel. Then he took a breath, pulled over, rolled down the window. A young officer approached. "Sir, just a heads up, your brake light's out." Malik nodded. "Thanks, officer. I'll fix it." The officer smiled. "Drive safe." As the patrol car pulled away, Malik sat still, gripping the steering wheel. His reflection in the rearview mirror stared back, tired, changed, but still standing. A year later, Malik joined a community group working with at-risk youth. He spoke to them about choices, about patience, about how the world sometimes judged before knowing. He never mentioned the jail cell, never showed them the scars from the cuffs. He just said, "You can't control how they see you, but you can control what you do next." They listened because they saw truth in his eyes. 2 years later, the city passed a law requiring all lineups and suspect identifications to be recorded on video with legal oversight. It was named the Turner Act. Reporters called Malik for comment. He said only one sentence: "I just don't want the next guy to need a law named after him to be treated right." The man who once sat in a cell, stripped of his name, now stood quietly in a crowd of reformers. He didn't give speeches. He didn't hold signs. He just showed up. Because showing up was how he survived. The story of Malik Turner spread through word of mouth. Some said he forgave the officers. Some said he never did. But everyone agreed on one thing: he never let bitterness define him. In the end, justice came, but not through a verdict. It came through the mirror the next time a young officer looked at a suspect and thought twice. And that's how a man once wrongfully arrested became the reason others weren't. Because sometimes the most powerful form of justice is quiet correction. One man's silence can speak louder than 1,000 laws. So tell me, if you were Malik, would you forgive the people who ruined your life for a mistake they never owned up to? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to hear more real human stories that make you question what justice really means, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Because next week we tell another story the world tried to forget.